have a client that I'm supposed to move on Saturday, and a few days ago he sent me an email telling me that his landlord had removed his front balcony and his stairs. So now he's wondering if I would be comfortable in supplying some type of lift apparatus in order to bring down the furniture. And I'm like, no, I don't do this. I just move things up and down regular stairs. I know that might seem a little bit boring. That's my comfort zone. He called me and left the following message.
Hi, this message is for Erickson. This is Michael LeBate calling. I just wanted to call to touch base about the move on June 21st. I was emailing you about an unexpected situation that I've got with my landlords who demolished the front stairs and balconies, which is obviously an issue for the move. They confirmed today that the stairs are not going to be ready in time, and previously they discussed supplying and operating a lift to get some furniture out that way. But today what they're proposing instead is to create some sort of scaffolding system in the backyard and lowering furniture by pulleys from the sounds of it. It's super messy. It's very last minute. They are also, it seems like they don't want to supply the lift anymore, and they're hoping that the move will happen through the fire escape. So I guess I wanted to touch base on whether it is possible to move through the back, whether the truck can be parked in the ruelle behind the apartment, whether the clearance of the stairs will be sufficient. The landlord is insisting that he's carried, ovens and stuff up those stairs, so they're a bit narrower than the stairs that were at the front. But he seems to think this would work for most furniture items. To be honest, my main concern is kind of about, I guess the insurance aspect of it. You mentioned, obviously, that your workers are not able to operate the lift. I guess I'm just kind of, to be honest, I'm kind of confused about how this would all play out.
Same here, buddy.
A quick chat, if and when you have time, just to kind of hack out a plan. I'm still pushing for them to supply and provide a lift, which seems a lot.
Let's hack his furniture.
Some sort of makeshift scaffolding system for my furniture. But I did just want to touch base verbally on this stuff. I apologize, but the messiness of all this renovation was planned after I gave notice, and I'm just finding out a few days beforehand that there's not going to be any stairs. So please give me a call back when you have a chance, and we can discuss this further. Thanks.
You can't make this shit up. We're going to go ahead and call Michael right now.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Is this Michael?
Yes, hi.
Hi, Michael. It's Erickson. You left a message?
Hey, yes. Thanks for getting back to me.
Okay, so I listened to your lengthy message in detail, and I just have to tell you this, Michael. At this point, this is totally beyond the scope of what I had agreed to when I accepted the move, right, to do your move. Okay, so I mean, if you want to reschedule, that's not a problem. If you want to wait till the day where they have stairs, I don't mind. I'll make special arrangements for you, but under the present conditions, my company is way too small. I'm just a one guy with one truck kind of deal. And, Saturday, there's the possibility of rain. So fire escapes and metal and rain, they don't mix. You know what I mean? So it's just like your landlord put you in a really serious bind. And that's a really shitty thing to do. But I can't be the bad guy here.
I totally get it. I just wanted to confirm if the fire escape is a possibility at all. I can take measurements for you of different things. I guess the truck could be parked in the ruelle potentially. I'm also trying to confirm with them if they are able to still supply a lift and operate it, in which case they might be able to just take everything down to the sidewalk.
Yeah, but Michael, it's not just that, right? It's the idea that you're the second move of the day. If this were the only move and we were fresh and we were arriving, like say in the morning, but on top of there being rain, on top of you being because we've got a serious move before that. We've got like a 30,000 pound move, and we're starting it early, so we're not going to be arriving fresh. Like my crew. My crew is very limited. It's made up of me, my son, a friend, you know what I mean? A friend of my son. So it's just like, I'm not a big moving company. So what I'm recommending is maybe somebody like AMJ Campbell. They have a tremendous amount of equipment. They could probably even supply their own lift.
Okay. Is there any way under the current circumstances that we could make the move work for you guys?
Only if there's stairs in the front. That's what I'm saying. So if they want to hire a carpenter and build like some temporary stairs that are like super solid, instead of going and setting up a scaffolding and everything. I mean, I built my own house from the ground up, and putting temporary stairs it's a no-brainer. It takes like 3 hours.
Yeah, I was wondering if they could actually potentially do something like that. One of them is a carpenter, so I assume he can build this kind of thing. I assume they're just waiting for the special stairs that they want from their suppliers. But if we lay down something on the fire escape to make it less slippery in the event of rain, is there any way to go that way?
Your fire escape is curved, correct?
It's not like a crazy winding curve. There's just a curve to kind of get into it, basically. The angling is a bit weird when you're walking like from the balcony onto the fire escape, but then it's a straight shot down.
Look, personally, Michael, I don't feel comfortable, right? Like, I've been doing this since '97, and the only time I used the stairs ever was for boxes, and if, say, a couch or something like that did not fit through the front stairs. But otherwise, I don't, that's not how I operate, right? I just go up and down the stairs. So, I mean, there's a lot of options on the table. There's going to be a little bit of a sacrifice, but I mean, like I said, I'm not the one who created the situation. I agree.
No, totally. I totally understand. Okay, I'm just trying to think on my end. If the only option right now is them building kind of temporary stairs, essentially, I can pitch that. Basically, like, I would have to tell them by email that, like, the movers I've hired and arranged for this are not willing to proceed under the current circumstances. The only conditions under which this would work is if a temporary staircase is built, which could potentially be possible because they're planning to finish the actual balconies by Wednesday or Thursday. So it's unlikely, but possible. I can ask that and wait for the reply. If they say no, could I ask you to then please write me an email kind of documenting all this, because I might need it, to get them to cover costs of moving and rescheduling and stuff like that, which I'm having the feeling I'm going to.
Sure. But what the sense that I got solely through your rendition of the events and the message that you left me, the impression that I got is that your landlord quite often will just say, "Oh, it's no big deal." He seems a little cavalier, like, I'll remove railings and things of that sort. So if that's the case, then, another option that you could, or another possibility would be to tell him to bring down all the big furniture himself. You know what I mean? Like, if he's so comfortable with the idea.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's kind of what he might have had in mind, is that, like, big stuff he could get it down himself, which personally I'm not super comfortable with. Some makeshift scaffolding system with pulleys. It's not what I had in mind either. But in that case, could some smaller stuff be taken down the back instead, like smaller furniture? Boxes,
Yeah. Smaller furniture could be taken down from the back.
Okay. What about a bed if it's disassembled?
Yeah. Like, if it's not some oak 6 foot high headboard.
No, nothing like, it's not 6 feet. It's like, I don't know, 2-3 feet high.
Okay.
The headboard. They're.
And I'm not making this up. We've moved like 400-pound headboards, so
Okay.
Like,
I was thinking that, like, some stuff would be not ideal for the fire escape anyways. Like, even something like an exercise bike, or I have like a large heavy chest, that would be a bit tricky. I didn't anticipate rain. That's a really important point, that, like, the metal stairs would be slippery. But to get a sense, something like, a microwave. Is that doable? Something like...
Yeah, of course. A microwave is very doable, yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like potentially a partial move could still be on the table. So
okay, and Michael, I'm definitely not going to be able to articulate this very well. I'm more of a visual person, okay? But just imagine, okay, like, there are some alleys that you can enter through. Like, let's say if you have a street that goes from east to west.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have the entrance of the alley that goes from north to south. It doesn't have any 90-degree angles. It's just a straight entrance. Okay?
Yeah.
Those are the best for me. If it's the case that I have to enter an alley from a street that is parallel to it, in other words, there will be a 90-degree angle involved. In some instances, a truck will not be able to maneuver in that 90-degree angle.
Okay. I think I understand. I think what might be helpful for you is if I send two videos. One of like just the furniture, so you can get a clear sense of it. Anything that is heavier than it looks, I can call it out, and then I can take a video of like me walking down the fire escape and then into the ruelle, so you can see kind of like what the angles are and make a call.
Michael, it's simple.
that
If
way.
the entrance to the alley has any 90-degree angle, then I might not be able to go with my big truck.
Okay. I think it technically does. Like you turn left and you're into the ruelle, and then you make a right, and then you go into the alley, and we're the
Yeah.
second building.
So I
right
won't,
there.
I most likely will not be able because my truck is fairly large.
Okay. Could we park the truck on the street and take some small items out that way, even if it's just
How
like I
many,
said,
how many meters?
it'll be a bit of a walk. I don't know in
Okay,
meters.
but Michael, again, if it's raining, okay, like I understand that, I need for people to understand that there are human beings behind this, okay? So if it's raining and you're the second move and we have to walk, like say 20, 30 meters times however number of times we have to go back and forth, which is probably 50. So 50 times 30 to 40 meters becomes a couple of kilometers. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so again, if we cannot go in through the back, what I can do is I can swing by on Sunday after my first move. I can attempt to get the truck into the back. But as a plan C, I would recommend that we do reschedule until you have stairs. The best thing right now would be to push these people to get stairs in the front.
We are only here until, I paid to the end of the month, so I don't know when they're going to have the stairs done.
The
I can definitely
temporary
push them
stairs.
I can push them for a temporary staircase. And you're saying if they operate a lift themselves, if everything is going on the lift and all the movers have to do is
Pick it up from the
literally
ground
carry things.
floor. Pick it up from the ground floor and put it in the truck. Not a problem.
Okay, so that scenario works. Makeshift stairs work. Back does not, and the weird pulley system he's proposing also is a no.
Well, again, if he's prepared to utilize that pulley system himself.
Yeah, I was trying to imagine how this would play out if he did use that. I think it's a bit, if it's not possible for you guys to carry the heavy items that distance to get to the street, then it's also not really an option, but then it becomes sort of like a second move that he has to do with me, so I don't want to pursue that option at all, really.
What, the pulley system would be in the back or the front?
In the back from the
Oh,
south
yeah,
side.
no, it doesn't work, no.
Yeah. Okay, so the lift and the makeshift staircase, those are the two options I will tell them we need to proceed with. Is it helpful for you if I send a video of stuff just so you have a sense of inventory?
No, Michael, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm entering retirement now. I'm 54. On Friday, I'm going to see a knee surgeon. Both of my knees are shot. And in 2 months, I'm going to see a cardiologist because apparently I have arrhythmia and I have tachycardia and I have all sorts of things. So I have to try to keep my stress and my physical exertions to a minimum. I'm sure you didn't want to hear all these things, but I just feel that under the circumstances, I have to give you some context.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry to hear all that stuff, and I appreciate.
Yeah,
the
it's
context.
aging. What can I say? I've had a rough life. So there you go.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I apologize again about all this stuff. I'm gonna talk to them and see if either of those two options works. And I guess if not, I'll let you know as soon as I humanly can.
Yeah.
And in that scenario, if it's really a no-go, like I said, if you could send me an email explaining for whatever liability issues.
Yeah. I'll take your lead, right? So you just go ahead and you guide the process via the regarding the emails, okay? But what I am going to say though is, in terms of shucks, I was going to say something. Damn it! Oh yeah, I am completely okay with you. Like, say if tomorrow you're like, call AMJ Campbell, see what they're all about. I'm okay with that, Mike. Like, in fact, I would be happy, because then you'd get a solid, like, this is a multi-million-dollar moving company, okay? They've got like hundreds of people. They've got super big contracts. They might be like the better people at this point to help you.
Yeah. Can I ask your quick opinion on something? It's okay if you can't say one way or another, but in this scenario, if I do have to reschedule the whole move and it costs significantly more, or it's reasonable that I ask the landlords to incur these expenses, right? Because this is a ridiculous situation they've created. This is supposed to be a
If you Google my name, you will see that I studied law school for 6 months. So why is that important? Because I have an interest in the law. So one of the people that I follow is Steve Leto. He's an attorney in Minnesota. Or Michigan, sorry, and he covers these things all the time. And even though he's in the US, there are parallels. One of which is the minute that you suffer a loss, then you can institute a lawsuit.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to prepare for the prospect of a paper trail and tribunal and all kinds of stuff like that.
100%, Michael, and I'm completely on board with that, 100%. And you're doing the right thing. That is very smart what you're doing. And in fact, if you ever do decide to pursue this legally in small claims court, the big advantage is that you can do this yourself. They're not allowed to be represented by a lawyer. They have to go there in person. And you can you can do all of this online.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, I will get back to them right now. I apologize again about all this. I appreciate you being upfront with me and your patience in the situation and your advice.
Well, you're a very easy person to talk to. You sound like a really nice guy. What do you do for a living, out of by curiosity?
I'm a writer, but I work in tech, kind of. Like, I'm a part writer, part designer, basically. I'm super stressed with all this, so I'm glad I'm coming across as calm about it. It's not the move that I had in mind, but what can I do, really?
Well, there's lots of things you can do. Like, I understand, like, at one point I did propose that you take some time off, but the 24th is Saint Jean Baptiste. So, I mean, even if you're a contract worker, aren't you entitled to certain labor law protected days off, such as a national holiday?
Yeah, I think the 24th. I would be off work that day. I'm not sure if they'd have the stairs built. So it would kind of return to the original question I have to ask them, whether they can build a makeshift staircase in the meantime, or if they can provide, supply, and operate a lift.
Or you hire your own carpenter. And then you give them the cost.
Like, bill them for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can, as of now, in the event that they were like, yeah, we can have stairs built, but not until the Tuesday. Is your team still, is the 24th still available, or are you
yes.
that now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I can pitch that to them potentially.
But you know what, Michael? So the thing is, on Sunday I'm still going to swing by, right?
It's a Saturday, you mean, right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Saturday. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, on Saturday I'll swing by on Sunday. Then it'll all be history. Yes, on Saturday. In fact, it will be one day, Michael. So this is just a temporary blip. And I'm not trying to make light of it. I told you I built from the ground up. So there were multiple times where I wanted to kill myself, and I'm serious. So, I understand the stress. It's really shitty when you're dependent on other people and they fuck your life over like this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm going to swing by on Sunday, and I'm going to do the damn best that I can to help you out. If you can, in the meantime, push for them to put some temporary stairs, let's go for that. Cool?
Okay, sounds good. I will, as soon as I know, I will let you know, and hopefully one of the two options we discussed can actually work.
Yeah, well, now you have lots of options.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, man. So try not to stress out too much, eh?
I will try.
Look, I'm not trying to be pat about this. Like, I understand that you're going through a really, really tough time right now. I get it, but really in the end, look at Ukraine, look at Iran. I just had a client yesterday, and her iPhone kept beeping, bing, bing, bing. And I told her, I said, look, Layla, I have misophonia. That's an allergy to certain sounds, high-pitched, right? I said, it was literally beeping every second. And she said, I'm so sorry. My family lives in Iran. And I said, do they live in Tehran? And she's like, yes, everyone was evacuating. So imagine your entire life being bombed.
Yeah, no, for sure. Things could definitely be...
We're very blessed. We're blessed because you have a resourceful mover who's taking the time, calling you in the evenings.
Yes.
You're blessed that you have the temperament to be calm about it. And the only snafu in all of this is your cowboy landlord.
Yeah. Very, very true. Very true.
All right, man.
All right. Thank you very much.
We'll chat later.
I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Okay, bye-bye, man.
Have a good evening. Bye.